Welcome, Trips Awakening. You subscribe to the truth, one within the universe, and universe is inside me. Greetings, earthlings and my loved ones. It would be an honor if y'all would join me. I'm about to drop some heavy stuff on y'all, so y'all need to pay attention to what I'm saying. This is the time for you to pay attention to your offspring, your loved one, your loved one, and your children, because these creatures is out here snatching them up, and they've been doing this for decades. They got it set up, because some of your children, they have certain things inside of them, they carry it on from other dimensions, and they know it, and not only that, like I said before, certain bloodlines are at war with each other, so these creatures out here, this stuff is about to get heavy, y'all. So I'm telling y'all, that's the reason why they divide families and mess them over, because certain children have that ability. Their frequency is so strong. It connects with the parents, and they can see other things as well. So these creatures, they know that. So this is what they do. This is how they operate. And they've been doing this for decades. And this is what I think, and this is how I feel. And that's the reason why I'm putting this video out. They will basically, soon as, the offspring comes to this realm, come out that portal, they will basically have certain creatures in the back. Y'all don't know who's in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, these doctors and stuff, they already signed contracts and signed oaths. So, some of them are in human forms. And the doctors, they basically, some of them, they sell out. Or sell in. They sell in. And they'll let the creatures actually run off with your child. That's the reason why ladies, if you're listening, make sure you have at least a couple of people with you when you're delivering, when you're dropping that offspring out the portal, and make sure they do whatever they got to do in the room. Don't let them take your children in the back, because they can do some crazy stuff. All right? So I just want to put that out there. See, this is what they do. They'll hire one of these actors to act like they snatched up the children, put them all on TV, point the fingers. They basically be the fall guy. All right? So a lot of people mad, but see, they getting paid by these creatures. You know what I'm saying? They set them up to like somewhere in another country or something like that. And they've been doing this for decades. Or if they can't get a hold of your offspring, they keep an eye on you, your loved ones, whoever you hang around with, or whoever connected with you, even out of town. They'll keep an eye. And that's when the prison system come in play, because they already know about some of these convicts, and they even have innocent people in the prison, and they mess with their DNA and confuse them, and they basically be experimenting on them, just like how they do the military people. But that's another topic. But the prisoners, they basically know like who's the rapist, and if they're going to do it again and stuff, because they can see it through their blood. They got a machine that can check out their blood. So they released them. They released them, or they have crisis actors, you know what I'm saying, like, if they want to point the fingers, they'll have them acting like they did it, and have one of the prisoners that's connected and work with the prison system go and snatch up a kid, because they already know how they move and operate, how they you know, stalk children and stuff like that. They send basically, you know how you have your best boxer, your best basketball player, and this is some sick shit. But they have who can like snatch up children quicker and stuff like that. Know what they're doing, and even some is in the community connected with some of them. They know what's going on, so they watch them, and then they go snatch them up, and then they basically use them. You know what I'm saying? And some of you earthlings, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all hold something as well. And they snatch y'all up, y'all got what they need inside. There's something in your DNA that they basically want. And they use that. You know what I'm saying? They use it to putting other objects and to benefit them. That's basically what they do. And what they do is they take on, you know, like I said, the children, when they come out that portal, you know what I'm saying, they still have basically a lot of stuff in them from another dimension and stuff like that. They eat them. These sick bastards eat them basically alive. And, you know, like I said before, your blood is your spirit. So basically, they, you know, they eat them, and then they take on their frequency and see other things and stuff like that, you know. And some of them do some sick, twisted stuff. Make somebody use the right hand, cut off their left hand, but I don't want to get into that because that's really deep and it might freak some of y'all out. So this is the time, especially this eclipse, you know, coming. They already know what it's basically going to do, especially, you know, in a hospital when the children, you know, basically come out that portal. You know, see, their timeline is basically where they basically, their bloodline, excuse me, y'all, it's been a long day. Their bloodline basically is running out. It's about to be vanished. It's about to be something totally different. So that's the reason why there's a lot of distractions and stuff going on. You know, like the prison systems, they work with the guards, y'all. They work with the guards. Some of y'all probably might not even know that. Some of you earthlings. Like, one day I was somewhere, and I can't remember. This was like 2 or 3 years ago, and me and this guy was like talking about something, and I just said, "Hey, how long you did time?" And he was like, "How'd you know?" I was like, "I know." You know what I'm saying? And I ain't get ready to tell y'all how I know, but I knew he did time. You know what I'm saying? And we just started talking, and I said, I basically know what's going on with a lot of stuff. You know, and he basically, you know, and I ain't going to reveal this person. Not person. You know what I'm saying? Person is a corporation word. I'm not going to reveal this individual. But, you know, he was just basically saying some of the prisoners in there basically work with, you know, the prison guards. They're basically the security, these gangs and all this stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, I'm not going to speak on something not unless I have facts and I speak my opinion. And, you know, I was basically telling him what I told y'all. I know the gangs and all of that stuff, church and all of that stuff that they created, the KKK, Black Panthers, all of them work together. And he was like, "You're right, brother." You know, so they basically, they're doing some crazy shit. So y'all just got to pay attention to your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real. You know what I'm saying? And I just like to give y'all heads up about a lot of stuff because some stuff is really, it's about to get wild. You know what I'm saying? It, like, as far as physical war, you know what I'm saying? I think that's this bullshit. You know, the media is trying to scare y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we're basically already in a spiritual war. Look around you. Toxins, and they passing these stupid laws, and you know what I'm saying, playing with your emotions, and the poison, and they poison the food and all of that stuff. We already at spiritual warfare, like, and some of y'all might not know, but the dimensions merge together, different dimensions merging together as we speak, as I'm putting out this information. You know, certain parts of the dimension is basically like they're parallel. You know, so y'all, some of y'all probably right now seeing some stuff that y'all ain't ever seen before, and especially when this eclipse get here. You know, and like I said, we're basically going into the sun cycle. So y'all basically, like I said, y'all about to see some stuff. And like I said, when y'all see the mask come off, even if you're laying in the bed with them, don't freak out and don't get scared. You just basically, it will come to you naturally what you're supposed to do. Not unless you already know what to do. Like, you know, I already basically know how to reverse certain things. I've seen certain things. And I can handle certain things and send it back to where it come from. So that's just something to think about, y'all. And y'all pay attention to your loved ones, like straight up, because that's the reason why, like I said in the beginning of the video, they wanted everybody separated, because basically y'all got to understand and understand your children, they're gifts. You know what I'm saying? And you got, and they messed y'all's minds up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but some of y'all know better. You know what I'm saying? You be tempted. Yes, they mess with you with the power lines and stuff and different things. You use hypnotic spells and y'all signing contracts and stuff, because some of y'all really don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And like now, like everybody, like, you know, starting to put things together. Some of you earthlings. But you got to just be careful. You know what I'm saying? Your children are like, they're everything. You need to like love them, respect them. You know what I'm saying? They teach y'all in a book, you know, like some of y'all think that shit is cool, beating your children with a Bible, that Bible and all of that. The books of spells. Let me say books of spells. Y'all go by them rules. You go by man-made rules. And some of y'all mistreat your children, beat your children. You ignore your children and stuff like that. And, you know, when it comes to that, you're missing out on something, you know, because some of your children, you basically, you know, you kind of destroying yourself if you really look at it. You know, and then you have some trifling ass mothers out here, you know, like they don't want you to connect with, you know, they don't want you to connect with the Father at all. They don't want that. So, you know, it's a lot of confusion and stuff going on. And, you know, they played their part, but most of y'all went for it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all want to go get this dumb, stupid child support and all of this and that, and turn your children against, y'all, you know, one another, and they ain't doing nothing but hurting whoever's like doing that mess, because it will backfire. Like it will backfire, you know, and that's just real. And that's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, all of this confusion and mess and stuff is going on. You know, broken homes, broken families, and relatives and stuff. And like I said, the bloodlines at war, you know, and like I said, we're energy. And these beings, they're taking control. They even, let me tell you what else they do. If they know you got a certain gift or a certain power, when they snatch up your children, they would use them for entertainment purpose. You know, some of the ones that you watch on the television or the Saturn screen, they're basically was like they were snatched. They was kidnapped, and they basically had another family, and they don't know their real mother and father. And some of the real mothers and fathers could be actually watching their children on this Saturn box and don't know it. They know their children is missing. Then some of them probably be like, I feel like that's my child, or that's my son, and stuff like that. And, you know, and these creatures out here, they fucked up on so many different levels, you know, and they do sick, twisted stuff. And they, you know, you could be, some of them could be athletes and this and that, and they know, and they use them. They use them, and then, you know, they get rid of them, find somebody else. They'd be like, you know, okay, I'm tired of this individual. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So, especially if they popular, they'll make up some rumors. Y'all know how they get down, saying they killed themselves or drugged them up, but they really. They either ate them or did some other things with them, you know. And it's just like, you know, when you get a pair of new sneakers, you get tired of it, you'll get your new one, and that's how they operate, and that's how they think. And they have certain entertainers use their gift to draw y'all in, to hypnotize y'all, to make y'all be on some other stuff. They train them. They train them to use their power, you know, especially when they move their hands and stuff a lot. Y'all don't know nothing about that, and I'm going to have to do a video on that. You know, they do a lot of things. Y'all need to, that's the reason why, you know, like then they, you know, have hybrids by them. And they also make them have children and stuff like that. So they could get, you know, like, I mean, especially, it's mostly the women that they use out there, because that's another story. I'm not going to get into that, but I will say this. I will say this. They're using your loved ones against you. That's basically what they're doing. Creatures are using your offspring against you. So what you gonna do about it? What? Did somebody say something?